4 of the 5 elders back in Mary Joie after receiving a blast from the past. Saturn back in his human form facing down Emmett. Vegapunk's transmission finally over. And the Straw Hats all on the ocean and ready to skedaddle. It's been an extra week, but we're back with my first reaction and review of One Piece, chapter 1123, The Void Fortnight. Okay, with a chapter like that makes me think that we're not going to see the immediate aftermath and we're going to cut to 2 weeks later, and I'm not a fan. But let's start with the cover page. We're back to the cover story, Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, enemies forced to share Odin. We have Yamato and Denjiro and those kids that were throwing rocks at Yamato, and they're all eating Odin together, which is very cute, but I'm still waiting for this cover story to have any real substance. Alright, next page. Egghead Island, respond! What's your status? We're seeing all these Marines knocked out after the Joy Boy Hucky Blast. Oh, and we're seeing the Seraphim. So, actually, sorry, we're not seeing the Seraphim. We've seen S-Snake. S-Snake, we saw her falling from the sky before. Oh, that's interesting. We actually see Vice Admiral Doll. She's also unconscious. So the Hucky Blast was strong enough to knock out a Vice Admiral. Because I made a point of it last week that I was like, is it that strong? Some of the Vice Admirals seem to be okay. The Seraphim do seem to be alright. I'm not sure if that's because they were trapped inside of their bubble. Either way, all of them are down. The Giants are observing through a pair of binoculars. That's probably an enormous pair of binoculars. And Dory and Broggy, seriously, that's amazing. That was greater than red hairs, but it didn't seem hostile, did it? And Luffy's laughing. Aha, thanks for everything, Iron Giant. We see Emmett. He looks like he turns around, and Luffy gives him a big grin. Alrighty, let's go while they're sleeping. We're getting out of here. Ga-ba-ba-ba. Hey, you heard the captains. Let's go, you bastards. We're off to Elbaf. Finally. And we see a little Bonnie fast asleep. She looks like she's lying on Kuma. Zoro is chill. Usopp is relieved and very excited to see Dory and Broggy. Chopper is reacting to seeing them for the first time, which I guess makes sense. He didn't join the crew when they met Dory and Broggy. And I guess this is... No, he saw other giants in Water 7 and stuff like that. Luffy has gone into his old man mode and he's fallen asleep on Nami's lap. Vegapunk, what you said earlier isn't sitting right with me. Sanji is talking to Vegapunk, who his face is covered in darkness, and he's lying on some sort of thing. Was this all some sort of gotcha moment for you? Hey now, I couldn't follow everything you were saying, but it was pretty outrageous, wasn't it? He's talking to Vegapunk as if he's alive, but... I mean, Vegapunk's tongue is always sticking out, but that's like the classic anime, oh, I'm dead, tongue sticks out. Bleh. Egghead, 2 weeks prior. Okay. There are some anomalous... Sorry, okay, good. We're not skipping forward 2 weeks. We're instead seeing the 2 weeks that led up to the Egghead Island incident. There are some anomalous readings coming from the power station. You can say that again. Monitor for any fluctuations in particle density and neutron flux. Seeing Shaka, the energy used by the Seraphim is meant to gradually increase over time. This could be a grave error if we miscalculated. Wait, aren't these numbers different from our earlier confirmed readings? That's Edison. Is that Edison? No, that's the big one that has like the same sort of looking head as Edison. Yes, and the rate of reaction is increasing too, but the power station seems stable. This data seems to indicate that someone has tampered with the Mother Flame to steal its energy. Every single data point related to the power station has been carefully modified to pull this off. The culprit has to be a Vegapunk. Was it Lilith? I'm afraid the three of us are the only ones with ironclad alibis, so Vegapunk wasn't entirely sure. An insane amount of energy was stolen, so we have to observe the other 4 to determine who is responsible, especially Lilith. Come on, Vegapunk. We have to put our brains into offline stealth mode too. So those 3 haven't been syncing up, and that explains why they were unaware that this recording was being made. Okay. That's right, if our memories of this get uploaded to Punk Lollids, then Lilith... I mean, the culprit... Oh, no, man, so this is, like, Vega, the actual Vegapunk, and he's like, it was Lilith. It's clearly Lilith. Surely it's Lilith. I'm like, my guy. She's the last remaining Vegapunk. And then, I've identified the culprit. It's York. And Shaka and Vegapunk are both stunned. This is Punk 4. I've completely forgotten his name because he died so quickly. And yeah, Shaka and Vegapunk are stunned. The memories she's been synchronizing with punk records are phony. I've also confirmed that the surveillance snails at the scene of the crime were tampered with too. And why would she do such a thing, says Vegapunk. My bad, Lilith. Yeah, don't throw disrespect at the one remaining Vegapunk. I say decent Vegapunk, but she is, like, evil. I've also found evidence that suggests someone deployed the weaponized sea beast without authorization. A jamming white transponder snail was also found in our investigation. I know I can reconstruct the call data directly from our long-distance transponder snail. Dr. Vegapunk is researching the Void Century. She rang Mary Joie. No wonder Cypher Paul keeps coming here to snoop. So this is just how Vegapunk figured it all out. 6 days before the present, the kingdom of Lelucia has been erased. The details are still a bit foggy, but I have a bad feeling about this. Pythagoras, that's his name. Observe any changes to the sea level and monitor all wireless transmissions. Yes, sir. You think this has something to do with the theft of the Mother Flame? I'm sure of it. That portion of the flame must have been delivered to the government by one of the weaponized sea beasts. If you permit me to indulge in pure conjecture, it seems plausible that the world government possesses one of the ancient weapons. That's good. I guess it's just conjecture, but it's good to get like a semi-confirmation. We haven't known what the name of the Mother Flame powered weapon is, but now we can probably assume that it is not Poseidon, Uranus? Which one's the one that's not accounted for? Yeah, okay, yeah, so it's probably Uranus. They must have needed the Mother Flame energy that York stole to fuel it. We'll see if the evidence supports my conclusion. Even if this deduction is sound, it's hard to speak aloud. It's all my fault after all. Only a fool lets their greed run amok, and I went and personified mine. You also personified your evil, Vegapunk. I mean, my guy. Is there any benefit to apprehending York now that we know? No, too late. York's motives are irrelevant now. They will still come to erase anyone that knows of the Void Century. York already demonstrated her worth by rashly handing over the Mother Flame. The best we can do is use that trust as an opportunity to determine their intent for the flame and try to mitigate the damage. Stella, we still have a chance to escape if we flee now. Prepare a boat for the other residents, Quasar. They still have a shot of escaping, but it's impossible for us. The Navy will have issued secret orders to every branch and base by now. They'll chase us to the ends of the world, and our inevitable deaths will be meaningless. At least here on Egghead, we have something O'Hara didn't 22 years ago. We have the means and equipment to amplify our voices as far and wide as possible. What exactly is the world government? The closer I get, the more shrouded it becomes. If I must die, I will sell my life dearly. That's an interesting question. What exactly? Not who exactly runs it, but what exactly is the world government? I apologize for wrapping you two into all of this. Don't be silly, we're Vegapunks just like you. We're all thinking the same thing. Just one issue, Stella. What exactly constitutes death for someone like us? Good point. And they're saying this while standing in front of Vegapunk's giant severed head. There is one other thing we must safeguard. Our cloud loft technology to manufacture artificial island clouds. It may be pivotal in saving humanity in the near future. And York goes and sees Vegapunk while he's near the giant robot. And she says, Stella, what you doing here? Oh, is that you, York? You know, same old, same old. If our experiments to optimize the Mother Flame allowed this thing to move again, it would be a big breakthrough in creating our ideal energy source. That's right, it'd be amazing if we achieve that soon. Right. I can only pray it never gets perfected. And that's a false smile shared between the two of them. 2 days before the present. Go ahead and speak now. The recording has begun. Mic check, mic check. Testing 1, 2, 3. Attention world. Hello there. I opened this video saying Vegapunk's transmission is over. No, it's not over. We're flashing back to see the rest of it. This is Dr. Vegapunk, the world's greatest and most humble scientific genius. Haha. What we said will come as a shock. Okay, so we're not seeing the parts that we missed during the transmission, which is a shame. What we said will come as a big shock, right? Maybe, but everyone has the right to know the truth. No one will ever expect the transponder snail to be hidden here. My death will trigger the message to be sent out worldwide. We need to ensure that no one finds out until it's too late. Any abnormality in our behavior could be a tip-off that spoils our plans. Erasing our own memories is the safest bet. So, that's interesting, that they willingly erased their own memories. And I guess that's why it's called the Void Fortnight. That said, there will be consequences. We'll lose all memories related to this matter. The fact that York stole the Mother Flame, the fact that our lives are currently at stake. We'll have to suffer through all those bombshells all over again. The fear we feel for our lives will be brand new to us, but we have put our countermeasures in place. Even if things go sideways, it'll still be our victory. And then we see a bolt of electricity sort of effect, and they wake up. The Memory Mass Research Lab, what are we doing here? This is my handwriting. Good morning, everybody. You'll find that you three have a missing fortnight's worth of memories that were wiped of your own volition. A number of things will probably come as a surprise because of this, which is ironically pretty amusing. Huh? I will tell you one thing though. The world government has found out about our research into the Void Century. And you see them all looking shocked. Oh, they found out. I've already taken the best possible precautions. You will just have to put your faith in me and die. Am I really telling myself to go die? Oh, and one last thing. Stella, Emperor Straw Hat's crew and Bunny have just made landfall. What? Cypher Polar's approaching too. What? There's also a naval armada coming to blockade the island. What? Admiral Kizaru and Elder Saint Saturn seem to be with them. What? Oh dear. If I could use that device, would I erase my memory of One Piece so I can read it all again? Would I be, what? After we rescue Bonnie from down there, I think it'd be best if I stayed put. Huh? You'll die. You don't need to help me escape anymore. I've thought about it, just let me die here. So this is him talking to Sanji, and I guess Frankie is also there. I just thought about it, just let me die here. What, do you have a death wish? Far from it, but I've come to believe that my death will set something important into motion. This is going to be a big mess. We can't just sit there and watch you die. We've got to do something. One more thing. It's about the One Piece. What about it? I want you guys to be the ones to find it. No big bombshell, just I want you guys to be the one to find it. And we get a end of chapter shot of the Giants raising a toast, raising Usopp into the air, raising a very decrepit Luffy into the air. Here's to reuniting with old friends. Cheers. Hold on, do this later. Wait for me. Luffy is completely out of it. Ooh, we're off to the land of my dreams, Elbaf. Good on you, Usopp. We all knew this day would come. And everyone is laughing and smiling. And I think we're seeing Chopper in Broggy's beard. Yeah, okay. Thinking 2 moves ahead. That's kind of a chill chapter. It's kind of so chill. So let's start at the start again. I think it's good to know that Joy Boy's Haki did knock out Vice Admiral Doll. I think I mistakenly called her Bluegrass last chapter review. And it knocked out the other Vice Admirals as well, but not the Seraphim. That is important to note. We don't see Saturn, so we don't know what state he's in right now. But Emmett is still capable of moving and turns around to face Luffy as he thanks him. But yes, I think the Straw Hats and the Giants, they're safely off. And yeah, I feel like Frankie should have been the one. I mean, Sanji got the higher belly bounty, so maybe that's why Vegapunk chose to say it to Sanji. But yeah, it's interesting. It's good to know the behind the scenes and how the recording was made. And it explains that he made the recording and his reactions to it all. Yeah, his reactions to it all were genuine because he erased his own memories. But aside from that, I do find the quote interesting. Just one issue, Stella, what exactly constitutes death for someone like us? He's like, good point. So I guess that's why he set it to his heart being stopped, because his brain is still alive, which is why, I don't know why I said this is why, but I'm assuming that's means that the devil fruit is still active. Yeah, okay. It's quite amusing seeing him first react, but it's kind of just a whole chapter wrapping things up, explaining how he knew to make the recording, and how he knew enough to make the recording, but also how he didn't know enough to know that what York was doing. And yeah, I guess next chapter we're on our way to Elbaf. And I do like Usopp is actually front and center in the final panel because we're Usopp needs to go to Elbaf. Usopp needs to go to Elbaf. This is very important for him. And that's kind of it. Inevitably there will be other One Piece reviewers who have taken more time to read through more carefully, and they will pick up on probably some very important things. But I don't think there's much that we've learnt, aside from maybe the pontification of Vegapunk, that he thinks that it was an ancient weapon that was used, which I would say more or less confirms that it was Uranus. We'll wait for someone to say, wait, that's Uranus, or something like that. Cool. I'm trying to think of something to say, but there really isn't much. It's a pretty simple chapter wrap-up. All right. Bye.